We're probably playing his, well, it's certainly his most often played symphony and most popular symphony, and arguably his masterpiece. Shostakovich lived in Soviet Russia, and they had an overseeing bureau that made sure composers wrote only appropriate music for the Soviet people. And after Shostakovich's Fourth Symphony, he was really in trouble for his supposedly avant-garde writing, and was about to be seriously censured by the Soviet government, and they said the next symphony better not be like the ones you've written in the past. You have to prove to us that you're a true Soviet composer. What he did do was write such a masterpiece that they couldn't argue. The first movement of the Fifth Symphony, the emotion expressed to me, in my opinion, is Shostakovich trying to express the hardship and almost cruelty for the Soviet people under their government at the time he lived. I mean, to me, you can really imagine the winter in Moscow and people bundled up, walking sadly to their places of employment, and the hardship they suffer. And this first theme is very angular. It begins strong. The symphony begins strong with the strings. Then the violins come in with a little bit of an introductory sadness, and then the bassoons join the cello pizzicato and basses pizzicato in repeating a short section of the introductory theme, and it sounds like this. And then we get to the second movement, totally different character. I guess it's you're after work or at a Russian party or people are drinking vodka. And I think very much when you hear this, you can just imagine a couple of drunken Russians dancing, I would imagine. This symphony has some really interesting things for the bassoon. The third movement is the one that is the most sad. You really to me it speaks of people who have resigned themselves to having lived this really rough life with no prospect of it ever ending. The really important and scariest part of the whole symphony comes in this movement for the bassoons. There's a section where just the first bassoon and contrabassoon again play in octaves, providing the bass line for a clarinet duet. And what's so scary is that we have to come in very softly and probably the loudest note on the instrument, which is a low F sharp. And again, it's not by itself, it doesn't sound like much, but it's something I really worry about. Let's see how I do today. This last movement is to indicate the triumph of the Soviet people over the adversity indicated in the first three movements. Anybody's going to be stirred by the triumph. The theme is a march theme. The bassoons play tutti with it, like with all the rest of the orchestra. I think people will have the same reaction I did. I mean, that's the whole idea of music, is to get an emotional response. Whether it's, like Puccini, which is, oh my gosh, that's so beautiful, I can't believe it, I'm just in heaven listening to this music. Or if it's a little more cathartic, and that we live through something listening to the music, that we have some sadness in it, and it brings us out, and as a result, we feel better.